players.
State is looking. Oh man, he looks really nervous to me in that shot.
Oh yeah, he is, man.
he's like headbutting the camera right now. He looks kind of like an alien.
He does. That's gotta be. State is very handsome though.
Meanwhile, Polt is just looking like a boss.
Polt is a boss.
He is a total boss.
All right, Better, you can go ahead and introduce if you want.
All right, bro. We've got spawned up here in the top right-hand corner of the screen, representing Team Vile and representing Protoss players everywhere. It is State. State has, I think I counted 6 people cheering for him.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of 20.
Only one guy was clapping, though. And down in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, his opponent for Team SCV Life is Polt.
I think the same guy cheered.
Was like, yeah, the same guy cheered, and then
That's
there's
okay.
like 30 people clapping for Polt. So
it's all good.
Polt apparently the fan favorite here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea where State's from?
California.
Cool.
Yeah. He flew down here. He actually is the reigning champion of this tournament. He won the last one against Inca in the finals. Also some familiar names in this tournament. In Control was actually casting that with me. And then Heavens got third, I think, I want to say.
Okay.
So some reoccurring blood here in the TESPA series, and actually I think Vile has pretty much won every TESPA event.
Oh,
but that's before the prize pool was $10,000.
And State is going to have to step up his game if he's going to represent the defending champion.
He can do it, man. Although, based on that last game, you know,
he's definitely hit a bit of a wall in Polt. Polt is so good. He multitasks on another level, and really Polt just. At a time when other players seem to struggle in the matchup a little bit, Polt continues to look really good. Now, granted, this is literally a top-level Korean against you know,
a full-time student.
So
it is what it is, though.
It is indeed.
You know, State can be the hero for us all, the hero we deserve,
but not the one we need.
Exactly. You either live long enough to become a hero. What is it?
You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yes, that's it. Will State be our hero? We'll see. But it looks like starting builds here. We have an early gas from Polt. No add-on just yet on his barracks. Did State scout that gas? Yes, he did.
Yeah, he's got a decent idea of what he's up against, it seems. Now, Polt, like many of the top Koreans, is a guy that's not afraid to do like delayed Banshee stuff. But this is actually a reactor going up on that barracks.
Second gas.
I'm not really sure what to make of this. Second gas and.
It has to be a factory. This has to be a 1-on-1 type play.
Yeah, it could absolutely be a 1-1-1.
State adding on a second gas of his own, so definitely smells something fishy. What further scouting has he done?
And, you know, Polt is doing this off of just a single Marine, so I really feel like if State were to just send his first Stalkers across the map, it could be super annoying. But now there's, you know, reactor's done, Marine's going to be produced 2 at a time.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Polt's base to see if he in fact builds a bunker. What some Terran players like to do is build a bunker at the outside of his natural expansion, and then you know, use that to help out and try to make his opponent think he's fast expanding.
Try to sell the expansion.
Yeah. But State did scout that second gas, so that probably won't work. But in the meantime, factory about to finish for Polt. Probably going to go for starport soon after that. The question is, tech lab or not? You got to think it's going to be a tech lab.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like just a very straight-up standard 1-1-1. Interesting that Polt chooses to go to it here on Cloud Kingdom, but we will see. There's that starport waiting still to see if the tech lab's going to go down on that factory.
Yeah, not just yet. Again, the tech lab I think is about half the build time of the starport. So, you know, it's okay to delay that on the factory a little bit so that right when the starport finishes, you can just plop it right down onto that tech lab and begin that Banshee production. Now the question now is, will he go for Cloak? It definitely could happen. And where's the robotics bay, or robotics facility, I should say, from State? He did get that early second gas, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it relatively soon here as a SCV gets into the main base of State. That's never any fun at all. The 3 gateway is going to be scouted. But Robo not there yet. Where's the Robo?
Cloak does start right away, which is what you would expect when a player has this much gas saved up. First Banshee will also be popping out here shortly.
Yeah.
Nexus is done in the natural for State, so the real question on everybody's mind right now is State going to be able to piece together what he's up against?
Yeah, that's the big question here. I mean, the 1-1-1 is that one build from Terran. As a Protoss player, it gives you the most headaches. There's so many variations of it, and if you make like one small mistake, it's really hard to go up against. Do you go Colossi because of the high Marine count? Do you go a lot of Immortals to deal with tanks? Do you go a lot of Stalkers to deal with Banshees? You know, how many Banshees does my opponent make? There's a lot of things that you have to piece together, and obviously that early Observer does help things. But then again, if you send an Observer across and then you don't keep an Observer at home, Cloaked Banshees destroy you. So there's a lot of things to consider as a Protoss player to deal with this 1-on-1 type play from the Terran. And not just to Terran, this is Polt.
Yeah. Yeah, State just got a really nice scout off it. The probe poked his head in and saw that there's nothing in that natural expansion, so if he was unsure before, he must be certain now. That Observer really needs to get started, because this Banshee's going to have a field day. Seriously, State. Does he have an Observer out?
He
No,
does
he
have one, I think.
No, there's not. There's not an Observer anywhere on the map at all.
Uh-oh.
And there's not one in production. And, oh man. This game could actually just be over.
This is really bad. He wasn't supply blocked, I don't think. The Observer being chrono boosted out right now for State needs to move his probes to his natural expansion. Stalker coming here, but there's the cloak immediately from Polt.
Yep, and he's just going to dance around and kill as many probes as he possibly can. He's already up to 7.
Wow.
8. He's going to get a 9th probe. No, he's not. Observer. Oh, he does get a 9th probe. Observer is going to pop out. There's 2 Stalkers underneath, so the Banshee's got to head for the hills. And she will do just that. Gets out of there with her life intact, and that's some pretty substantial damage being taken there by State. Knocks him down to 26 probes against 28 SCVs.
Yeah, he's definitely not out of it. He's teching up to Colossi. Again, you know, trying to counter that heavy Marine play as the Stalkers from State hit his own assimilator, but I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep.
Second Observer going to be chrono boosted out as well, so he will basically be able to thwart any additional Banshee aggression as long as he positions his units appropriately. But here comes the real scary part of this push. It's Marines, tanks, or even a Raven in the mix, as well as additional Banshees. Siege mode about 30% complete, so it should be more or less finishing right as Polt arrives. And I've got to say, I'm not too confident in the Army of State right now. He's chrono boosting an empty robotics. He's got no Immortals out. His gateway count is quite low. He's gone to Robotics Bay, which appears to say, hey, I want to get a Colossus out.
Not out.
Yeah, nothing on the field.
One Colossus in production, but that's not going to be enough to deal with this army. State can have to force field that ramp forever, it seems like. Polt might go around. Of course, he doesn't have anything massive to crush that force field at this moment in time.
He could just crush those rocks, though. That would be
I guess once he gets siege, he can siege up and then move the Banshees and Ravens forward to get that high ground vision. That could be one option.
Yep, and siege mode is done. And those tanks going to do just that. They cover more than enough of the... Oh, man, a couple of sentries going down. That's such a huge blow. Stalkers are going to walk forward and try to get the Raven, but that's not going to work. And, God, this is just looking worse and worse for State every second.
This is terrifying, man. It's going to be hard for him to engage this. He has to do it perfectly, but that's definitely a tall task if Colossus is on the field. State going to go for it here, moving forward. The Colossus trying to target down the tanks. Immediately GGing, and Polt's going to take it.
Yep. State realizing that he was more or less licked, as they say here in Texas. And yeah, Polt's going to go on with a very quick, very easy 2-0 victory. It's in State down to the loser bracket. He's not out of this tournament yet. He's still got a lot of Starcraft left to play.
Yep.
And man, Polt makes it look so easy.
Yeah, he's that good. Polt's a really good player, and we're gonna have an interview pretty soon here with our winner of that. And Polt will advance to the round of 4, and he plays the winner of. Do we know?
Yeah, we do know.
Is it White Raw?
I can actually tell you he plays the winner of Violet versus DeMuslim.
Do we know the status of that? Yeah.
I can.
Let's.
We can always pull up the old Wikipedia, but I would wager that those games are still going. This series went very quickly.
I mean, in an ideal world, if that goes to 3 games, maybe we can jump into the 3rd game of that and get some coverage of that.
Very possible. We'll have to wait and see what the production guys have to say about that. But that does mean Polt will play either Violet or DeMuslim. Both of those would be really nice games.
Oh yeah.
And I do think that, especially in TvT, DeMuslim could take Polt out. But to do that, he's got to get through Violet, and that is no simple task. Violet is a very, very strong ZVT player.
He looked so unbelievably strong against Dragon. 2-0ing him, of course. We'll see. Anything can happen in this tournament. We've seen a lot of pretty crazy upsets, I would say.
That is right. The next official game on this stream is going to be White Raw versus In Control, and that'll be casted by you, Axel, and by Rotterdam. So I know that's one that a lot of people are looking forward to. Yeah, man. But like White Rod and Control, two of the biggest, like most beloved
Oh, yeah.
people in the community. I mean, both of them just work tirelessly for the growth and betterment of esports, and it's actually really sad that one of them has to kill the other.
It is. That's a very graphic way of putting it, but I'm okay with it.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Play a best of 3 in StarCraft, and then just cut the throat of the guy that loses.
Whoa.
He's done.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
No, it'd have to be, we have to do it Texas style. So we have to give them guns, and then they do the walk, and then they turn around and shoot. What is that called? Like the quick draw or something?
It's like a duel, but that's not
A
really,
duel.
that's not really how it works. You know the
No?
Code Duello rules?
What are they? Should we do it? I challenge you to do a duel.
Well, here are the rules. Let me explain to you the historical rules for dueling.
Okay.
You have 2 people. Like you challenge me,
Right?
and then each of us chooses a proxy.
A proxy?
Yeah. So
Like a
I
proxy
could
pylon?
choose Rotterdam. You could
Oh, okay.
choose. You could choose. I don't know. In Control.
Okay.
And if either one of us doesn't show up to the duel, then our proxy has to do it.
Ooh.
So that's
would
one of
show
the
up.
rules.
I would show up.
But then we would like say we duel with pistols. So we would stand whatever agreed upon distance apart from one another. And the rule is, you can shoot whenever you want to shoot. There's no walking and turning. You shoot whenever you want to shoot. But if you miss, you have to stand there.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard this.
That's the rule.
Oh, yeah. I read that one time in school, but I sleep a lot in school.
Yeah, you have to just stand there and take it. Now, Andrew Jackson was
Yeah.
a very talented duelist. He was well known for standing in the mirror and practicing his dueling stance so that he could stand in such a way that if he got shot, it was very unlikely that his heart would get hit.
That's sick.
So he would like stand in the mirror and like pose at like the perfect like this. And he would shoot
You be
from here.
careful, dude. Someone's going to take a screenshot of that, and
Yeah.
there should be another post on Reddit at the top. You gotta be careful, man.
Yeah, man.
It's all good.
But,
It's crazy. History lesson from Mr. Bitter here at the $10,000 Lone Star Clash.
I think Alexander Hamilton was killed in a duel. in
I
fact,
think you're right. I think you're right.
but I don't remember who against.
I'm not sure. Maybe it was...
The crowd is shouting.
They're shouting something.
I think they're shouting.
Shout a little louder.
Starts with a B.
Say it at once. 1, 2, 3.
Burr.
Burr?
I think so. I think that's the answer that we can agree upon.
Is that who killed? I guess that's who they're saying killed Hamilton.
Killed Hamilton, yeah.
Thank you, audience.
One of the
It's like-
luxuries of hosting a tournament
they're
on a
our
college
Google.
campus is
They're our
if you
Google.
don't know anything, you can just ask the audience. It's much better than the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire audience.
Right.
So,
We have to
anyway,
come up with
guys,
something else to ask him. This is fun.
next question. Who are we about to kick the show over to? Nobody
Should we
knows.
just do 2-1? 3, 2, 1.
Nobody knows.
Nobody
The
knows.
answer, of course, is Rachel.
Rachel.
Rachel should be up on stage any second now.
Any second.
Where she will be talking to our winner.
Or having a duel with him. One of the two.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm just tracking down all the bits and pieces of this interview. Jeff, do you mind if I move this chair behind you? Sorry. Everybody's got their headphones on everywhere. So I'd like to have Polt, the winner of our last game, join me on stage. Polt, if you'd like to come on out here. We have... Either side, I don't know. And we have once again selected questions from our Twitter. If we've chosen your Twitter name, you're in the running for a really cool prize. Be on the lookout for a tweet from us. You all ready for this? Are you going to do it in English?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1 is from Evil Genius Inc. All right, guys. They're sending a question over. How does Lone Star Clash compare to the other tournaments you've been to?
Oh, it's very hard question to answer. I like all tournaments what invite me. Yeah, and Lone Star Crash invite me too. So I love this tournament.
We're so happy you're having a good time here. I know you said yesterday you love the weather. Question number 2 comes from Summix Gaming. After a 20-hour flight, how is your game affected?
Oh, my flight was very terrible. Originally it takes about 16 hours and it delayed 3 hours, so maybe 19 or 20 hours took. it makes my condition too bad, but I take a 1-day break, so I'm okay now.
Well, congratulations once again, Polt. We'll head backstage and relax. And in the meantime, I'd love to bring you White Raw vs. In Control. Guys in the casting booth,